Hey, what's going on, guys? The Langbanger here. So I am still alive. It's been quite a while since I posted a video, but I just wanted to give you guys some sort of content, just, something I brewed up if I were to have an event coming up that, I were to attend. This more than likely actually would have been the deck I would use, or, if it's upcoming in the future, I think I would give this deck a go. So it's Yosenju. I've definitely profiled this probably 3-4 times over the years. It's definitely one of my favorite decks ever. I'm really happy that it finally got support, and that support finally came in the TCG. So let's just hop into this. So as I always like to state, this is rather budget. So you probably could put some better cards in here, but I just like to keep it simple. So you have 3 Yosenju 1, 3 Yosenju 3. So I'm not using the 2. The 3 is, your searcher, and then the 1 is the bouncer. So that's just crazy stuff there. And then I have 3 Isna. So this is a newer one. I'll just stop here a second here. So basically, if you have another Yosenju, you can draw a card, and then that has another effect. You can discard this card. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a Yosenju monster is normal or special summoned. It's just really cool to be able to go, Yosenju in this and be able to draw a card. All these guys will bounce also at the end phase. So there's some neat tricks you can do there as well. You don't go into the extra deck often, but just know, all your guys are level 4s. So that just allows access to rank 4s. You can also link if you would like to as well. I'm also using one Sujik, I guess you would call it. So that's the monster lineup. Onto the spells, you have 3 Tanky, of course, 3 Carded Demise. So this is where it's a little different. In past profiles, I don't know if I use Demise or not, but I'm just trying to bank on, low monster count, lots of draw, adding cards, to your hand. And then with that, it's a really neat trick to go Demise, because basically, you can have those bounce and then it won't be affected by Demise. Yeah, that's just my strategy there. 3 Duality, 2 Quiet Life. So this is another Floodgate. Basically, it says if any player normal summons a monster, they cannot special summon that turn, and then vice versa. So it really just locks down the opponent. Again, you can link summon, exceed summon if you really need to, but that's not your strategy or your win condition. So really, this is kind of a Floodgate. Drop a bunch of monsters, search, bounce cards, and then you can bounce back. 1 Upstart, and then 1 Scapegoat. So a lot of people don't use this anymore, but really, if you have a deck that can utilize it, why wouldn't you? This basically allows you to get into anything in the extra deck as possible. So onto the traps, 3 Solemn Judgment. Yeah, this card is finally at 3. Most of you probably haven't been playing since this was last at 3. Just insane. Why not? 3 Storming Mirror Force. So we have a lot of bouncing and a lot of returning in this deck. So this is a card, really, if you think about it, and people aren't really going to have answers to a card like this. They're just going to be blindsided by it. So, game 2 and game 3, they may play a little different, but this is definitely going to hit them hard. I also have 3 Drowning Mirror Force. So the reason for this is because my Yosenju's bounce to the hand. So this, again, is just going to blindside them. Will my opponent actually have some to out, 6 Mirror Forces that are either bouncing or putting back to the deck? I highly doubt it, and it's just going to throw them off, and you're probably just going to get an easy win game 1. I also have 3 Compulse. So this just stops your opponent's big plays if they're, going link crazy, or if there's just some on the board simply that you want to get rid of, and, they were smart enough not to attack anymore, you can still get rid of it, so that's good. Also, Yosenju Sword Sting. So this is a new one. You reveal up to 2 Yosenju monsters with different names in your hand, then target the same number of face-up cards your opponent controls, return them to the hand. So it's a compulse times 2. There's also a new card that just came out. It's called Get Out, and it says to bounce 2 monsters that were summoned from the extra deck. You can also use that as well. It's just the fact, this is up to 2, that's really good, and you're going to have the materials. You can certainly use that too. I just ran out of room. So, and then the last 2 cards that I'm using, there can only be 1. So again, you don't have to go into links, exceeds. You can just summon the monsters and just do what you got to do. So this more so just shuts your opponent down. Onto the extra deck, like I said, this is rather budget. In regards to the main, I mean, you could probably use impermanences if you wanted. I don't like extravagance. I don't like desires myself. Desires is probably, I mean, a little better, I guess. Just because for my extra deck, I'm using a lot of one-ofs, and it's just a lot of utility. Trying to treat it like a toolbox. I don't know if I would use Extravagance, even if I had it. So I have Lightning Chidori, I have Baguska, I have Castel, and I have Dugares. So this is a newer card. See if I can zoom into this here. So hopefully you guys can read that. I'm not going to read all that, but it's a lot of drawing. You can special summon from the grave. I mean, skip the battle phase, and then what's that? Double the attack of a monster. So there's some drawbacks, but you can just see that's craziness. Now onto the links. You have a Borload, you have 2 Mrs. Radiant, you have a Bomber Dragon, you have Decode Talker, Great Fly, Lympholinkus, Security Dragon, Cerberus, Win the Wind Charmer, or Win the Wind Charmer Verdant, and then a Nightmare Phoenix. So as I said, there's just a lot of utility here. I really don't want to remove any of this. Like, everything serves a purpose, or everything has a different effect to potentially get you out of a situation. I mean, the Radiants are there simply for the scapegoat. I mean, that in itself is crazy. That's what, 4,800, because they each bump each other. Borreload's mainly there just for the scapegoat play as well. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't get into that. I mean, you could, but I mean, I really don't know if you'd want to use 4 Yosenju monsters to go into it. But if you need to, it's there. But that's my profile, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any comments, suggestions, leave them down below. And I'll talk to you next time. Peace.